Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Today I'm going to be doing a review and an install of a really cool product that's going to help me out with these two bad boys, these two snow bikes behind me. So this is a dolly made by Motion Engineering and Fabrication that's specific for Timbersled kits. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you what this thing looks like. So out of the box, you're gonna get two very large, very sturdy wheels. You'll get the axle with the quick clip system already installed right here. You'll have two nuts that will go on the outsides of the axle that bolt on the wheels. You'll also have a clip for the lock and storage system on the axle. Here is the spindle mount. This one is for the Aero spindle. They also make one for the mountain horse spindle. And this will mount onto the spindle, and you'll take off the OEM bolts, and you'll use these lengthened bolts that Motion provides you, along with two nuts, and then you'll use the OEM washers that come already on the spindle. The build quality of the axle is great. They have the stickers so that you kind of know, how the system works. It's very intuitive, and that's great. The welds are awesome on the spindle mount as well, and just a solid product all around. So very happy with the quality. It's definitely going to last, so you're not going to have to worry about, you're losing your investment. Along with your kit, it's going to come your track dolly. So this has got two wheels on the back side. They swivel 360 degrees, make it easy for you to put your track on and maneuver your whole snow bike around tight places. You can spin it in 360 degrees pretty much. Good build, good welds, heavy, very sturdy. Another thing to note is that I don't know if they meant to do this or not, but it seems like the spacing between the lugs is really well placed. And this goes and kind of catches in, and the lugs of the kit really fit well with the width and the length of this dolly. So both the Aero and the mountain horse kits, the wider kits as well as the narrower kits, work well with this. I've used it with both. Okay, so your first step is going to be to basically just put on your wheels to the axle. Doesn't matter what direction these go, they're identical on each side. Then you'll take your two nuts. Well, I guess you already have two nuts. So your additional nuts. Tighten them on with the 27 metric. So to get the nuts tight onto your axle, I use a screwdriver. I put it through the middle eyelet of the quick clip system, and then you can go ahead and start tightening it down, because it'll stay in place. Otherwise, if you see, it'll just swivel on you, and you don't want that. So you want to tighten it so it's not wobbling, but it's not too tight against the bearing. So you should just have just a little bit of wobble. So if I can hold this steady, and I can feel just the tiniest bit of wobble, that's about as tight as you need to make these. So now that we have the wheels and the axle all assembled, I'll go ahead and start to install the spindle mount onto my spindle. Now I have a trio on mine, so it's going to be a little bit different and maybe a little bit more challenging, just because there's a shock in there that I have to deal with. I may have to relieve the pressure from there. I've already installed this on an Aero spindle that does not have the trio, and it's very simple. It's really easy. So the addition of the trio might be a little bit more of a challenge, but really it's just incredibly easy. Bolt on, there's no worries. You will need to use some kind of a stand to get this elevated so that you can work, and you're gonna have to take these two lower bolts off and work the ski out from under the spindle. So with that, let's go ahead and install the spindle mount. Okay, so all we gotta do now is gotta remove these bottom 2 bolts. So this is gonna take a 15mm socket, and you're gonna have to get a wrench, 15mm wrench on the other side, so it stays in place. And then lefty loosey righty tighty, and just start removing this one by one. It's a little easier. Make sure you set aside to reuse your OEM washers that come with your spindle. Alright, so to be able to take the bottom ski off and replace these bottom bolts so we can put on that spindle mount, I'm going to need to release the pressure in the trio, as that's putting pressure right down at the bottom here. So to do that, here's the EVOL chamber, and here's the main chamber. I think I can just get away with it by releasing pressure from the main chamber. And if you need to, you can release pressure from the EVOL as well. And then once that kind of starts to become supple and easy to push the stanchion up, then you should be able to get these bolts loose. So once the trio is loose and the ski's ready to come off, you go ahead and take a rubber mallet, and you can just tap, tap, tap on the backside of the bolts, and they should come right out. If you need to, you can I like to jostle the ski around a little bit. The last one as well. There we go. Now that we have our ski off, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the spindle mount, and we're gonna get that into place. And then I'm gonna lift the front of the ski and install that bolt first, and then I'll install the rear one with the trio. The bolts that are provided by your kit are longer than the bolts that come stock. So I'll line this up, and then you can look on the right side of the bike through the hole to make sure you're lining up everything correctly. I find that once you get the front on, it's much easier to do the back bolt. Don't forget your washer. Your OEM washer will go on, and then the provided nut that they give you with the kit. And now I can install the back bolt. Trio in place. Anytime you use your mallet, just be soft on it because you don't want to hurt the threads. When you get stuck, just jiggle the spindle around and your mount around until you get set right. Put your washer, your nut on. Now the hardware is in place. I'm gonna take a 17 now on the backside nut, so that'd be the right side of the bike, and then a 15 socket, and I'm gonna tighten these up. So it's important that the orientation of this spindle mount is correct. So I wanna have the nipple of the mount up and facing up, and there's this little arch right here, as well as this little eyelet off to the rider's left side, so that when I go to place the wheels on, the clip falls down and locks there, as well as the rotation lock pin is able to be installed into the eyelet and locks out the bike. So we've done that. Everything's in the right orientation, and this thing's good to go. Here's my brother-in-law, Josh, helping us out here. He's gonna show us how easy it is to install the quick clip system. So all you're doing, you're just gonna pull up on that front ski and place the dolly right on the front, and then that clip goes down and you're locked in. With the wheels in place, you can see that you can easily rotate your handlebars left and right and get full movement. This also allows you to tilt it left and right, which is really helpful for getting around tight places. Now Josh has shown us just how easy it is to maneuver this thing with just the wheels on. You can tilt it all the way over to the side. It's a simple combination of turning your handlebars left and right as well as tilting. Where other systems don't have quite the clearance that the wheels give you or the tilting ability that you have, it really does make the quick clip system stand out amongst the rest. So it's this rear basket that really completes the package. Here you'll see Josh, he's gonna show you how it's loaded. So once you get it underneath the track, you're just gonna drop the gas a little bit. Once the basket's positioned in the middle of the track, you'll be able to move the whole back end around. Taking the basket off is just as simple. All you gotta do is just start up the bike, give it a little gas, and it'll come right out. The last feature we'll show you here is the rotation lock pin. So by putting this lock pin into that eyelet on your mount, you're gonna be able to lock out the front of the bike so that you can lift the back end and be able to pivot and rotate around without the bike falling over. That does it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to give me a thumbs up and a comment below and let me know what you think about this video, and let me know what I can add to it or what things you maybe would like to see in the future. That said, I want to also thank Motion Engineering and Fabrication for creating such an awesome product. Great design, great build, great quality, and you really do get what you pay for. So I would recommend this system to anybody that has a timber sled, whether it be a mountain horse or an arrow. A big thanks to them and a big thanks to you for watching.